And then after we're done here, hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Paul Fleming here. We're doing our chamber check-in. And today we have Mark Karnopis with Valley Regional Transit. And I've been very excited to check in with Mark and VRT to kind of check in and see how they've been able to pivot when we had the governor's order to stay at home. And then traffic and transportation just kind of had a 180 switch. And so for those of you out there that are listening that don't know what VRT is, Mark, can you tell us a little bit about the history when VRT started and what you guys offer?
You bet. VRT is what's called a regional public transportation authority, and our jurisdiction is over Ada County and Canyon County, and really high level about what our responsibilities are. We're recipients of federal funding for large urban. We also operate the Valley Ride and Access bus systems in Ada and Canyon counties, and we also help promote private providers and other transportation providers. We offer them assistance and promote their activities and their services. We've been in existence for, I believe it was 1992 or so when they developed the RPTA. Voters in Ada County and Canyon County both voted for the formation of the RPTA. It was actually, I think, 1998. And so as a result, there was a combined effort, and we've been growing and growing and growing ever since.
So you guys operate the bus service, correct?
We do. We operate it's the Valley Ride bus service. That includes 18 routes in Boise. That includes 3 routes. These are fixed routes in Nampa Caldwell, and we operate 4 intercounty routes between Ada County and Canyon County. In addition to it, we offer it complements our fixed line system access paratransit service for people with some type of disability who are unable to use the fixed line service.
Okay, so are you in operation currently? Can people hop on a bus right now?
Yes, your timing is perfect. We were identified as critical service, necessary service in the eyes of COVID-19 and what services should remain. We are slowly climbing back to our full regular bus schedule, and I'm happy to say on Monday we're going to have all of our bus routes in operation again. So we're going to be back to our full regular schedule come Monday, May 18th.
Okay. So a few years ago, the chamber was really an instrumental part with the other private and city partners to establish a downtown bus hub. Tell us a little bit about that and how that improved access and ridership.
We love Main Street Station, by the way. 777 Main Street, if people want to take a look at it, come on down. We'll give you a quick tour if you like. Finding that location was several years in the making. We did get some federal grant dollars to build a multimodal transit center. Prior to that, it was less than ideal downtown how we were staging the buses. We were staging them over a 4-block area on Main Street and on Idaho. And problems with that is, there were some shelters, you were out in the elements, there was no customer service. Sometimes you had to walk as far as 3 blocks, and you have 5 or 10 minutes to catch a transfer bus to the bus you need to get to. It just was not an ideal situation. And I think 91 is when they put the downtown mall together. So we did get these federal dollars, and very long time effort to try to find a location. We faced a lot of not in my backyard from a lot of people who live near there. There's still stereotypes out there about, a transit center would bring in the worst. They would bring in hobos and the homeless and everything else. And so we finally entered into a public-private partnership. So when they were building God, what's the name of the building?
Clearwater Analytics Building.
Thank you, Clearwater, and that whole complex there. We were approached by the builders and the developers and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about an underground transit center?" And we said, "Oh, well, tell us more." Put pencil and paper, and after some a lot of legwork, we said, "Hey, this could work." it's not unprecedented, but it would be a unique situation for Boise. And so we entered into that partnership, and it's worked out terrific. We have a really, really nice facility now that has, customer service, restrooms, a room for the drivers, the bus operators to kind of relax a little bit between runs and everything else. We don't stage all our buses down there. We also still have to stage some of them up on top though. But it's just been a terrific facility in the 3 years we've had it.
Okay, cool. Hey, what other services do you guys partner with to help move people?
Boy, where do I start? Highlighting it, we work with a lot of alternative transportation folks. We work with SHIP, which is State Housing Innovative Partnership. They provide transportation services for veterans primarily. We work with a lot of the senior centers throughout the region to help them obtain vehicles and maybe do some training. We have volunteer driver programs where we can get people from point A to point B at a much more cost effective than a Lyft service and or maybe even a taxi. Man, what else? We have Night Ride, which is a night service that we provide primarily for refugees, because a lot of the jobs that they're able to get don't have the non-traditional 9 to 5 hours. So it may be 10 to 6. They may be a crew going to clean up at Micron or at a facility or something where they need these kind of services. And so we operate these vans that we pick them up. It's very minimal cost to them. We supplement a lot of the cost of these rides, and we get them to those jobs, which are the jobs that are available for them right now quite often. So
I'm so glad you brought up the fact that flexible schedules now more than ever, people aren't working, the general public even aren't working like regular 9 to 5. We're starting our days early. We're, for those of us with children, we're dealing with that and we're trying to work from home. So our schedule has widened and it has not been consistent in this block. So what's in the future to kind of address that from a busing transport scene?
Right. In addition to like this Night Ride and some other services, the city of Boise has been terrific. They realize that frequency is important. The more frequent you run a route, the better. They also realize that you got to run later at night. So they've been giving us an enhancement dollars, and we've been able to, for example, on our State Street route, which is our most popular route, we have 15-minute frequency during the peak times during the day. And we also run that service almost till 10 o'clock. Traditionally, in the past, we basically rolled up our sidewalks, as it were, somewhere around 7:30. But now we have Route 3, we have Route 9, we have Route 7, A and B, which are Fairview. Route 3 is Vista. They all go to about 9:30 or even later at night. Vista was important because that goes to the airport. At one point we had, service to the airport that ended like at 6:20, and it was just, so we are going to continue to do that. We are going to expand some additional routes later at night. On Saturday service, which was 7:45 to 5:45, we're going to run
Saturday service?
Yeah, we have Saturday service. It's limited. We have like 8 routes, and it went from about 8 to 6, somewhere on there. So we're going to have several routes that are going to operate even later. And we're also going to increase the frequency because it was hour frequency on Saturday and stuff too. These are all things. If you can increase the frequency and the length of the time a route is operating, this is kind of a no duh, but you can really, really capture a lot more folks and stuff.
Okay. So where do people go find their schedule, and how do they figure out what bus to ride and how to get to where they need to get to?
Real quickly, valleyregionaltransit.org. We're doing an overhaul of the site. We hope to have that done by late spring. But you can get in there if you're brand new to transit. You can get in there. You can type in your address where you live or where you need to go. It'll tell you, we have a trip finder. It'll tell you what, how far you have to walk, how far you have to go, where you catch the bus, if you have to transfer. And we also have help desk. We have folks that are just been here forever and they're terrific. They can help you if you want to call our help desk line, which is 208-345-7433. If you prefer to talk to someone in person.
Okay, cool. Well, the chamber, for the first year, last year, we were involved and participated in May in Motion. And it's halfway through the month, and I heard it got canceled. And it's, when we had a staff of, 25 people riding their bikes, riding the bus. It was really cool. So we kind of missed that. Hopefully we can participate again. Also, my children go to a local charter school here, Sage International. And I remember taking the bus from right across the street, and they took us down and we did the whole bus tour. And one thing I learned that I didn't know before was the cost of the bus. Now, tell me if this still stands. $1 one way, $2 all day, and $3 far away. Is that still correct?
No, we had to increase. It's been years and years since we had to increase our fares, but now it's $3. It's $1.50 one way. I believe it's $3. Wait, it's $1.50. It's for a local. An all-day pass is $2.50, so that went up. Universal Pass, which allows you to use the local services and the services between the two counties. A single ride is $4.50 and then $7.50 for an all-day bus pass.
Okay.
We're well in line with what other transit systems in the region charge, and we're actually cheaper than many of them in terms of the fares.
So the heavy load is Caldwell to Boise in the morning. That whole. So do you guys provide service in the mornings from Caldwell to Boise?
That would be the 40 Caldwell Express. And yes, and we do have, no, that's the 43. I'm sorry. The Caldwell Express has 2 runs in and 2 runs out every day. We also have 2 routes that originate in Nampa and they go through Meridian on their way to Boise. Boise's, there's a lot of big influx of people that work in the Boise, and so we have these routes, these 4 routes that go back and forth, and we also even have a route, intercounty route, that goes between Boise State and College of Western Idaho, because a lot of students will sometimes CWI students will have to go to Boise State for a class and vice versa, and those have been very popular.
Okay. Hey, can you tell us if Green Bike is back up and running?
It is. Green Bike is up and running again. We are taking a lot of precautions in terms of wiping down bikes and everything else. We have free rides, unlimited free hour rides until Monday, May 18th. I'm not sure if that's going to be extended or not, but yeah, we urge people to go out there. We are looking eventually at transitioning to electric motor assist bikes, because that seems to be where the industry's going. But yeah, we've been on operation, I think, with Boise Bikes for about 2 weeks now. Green Bikes.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Hey, and before we part today, anything new in the horizon about some future innovations with VRT?
Well, and we are going to institute some additional service enhancements. We'll drive people to the website. We have a whole page on service changes. Those were postponed till October 1st from late March. We also by early in January, but I think that's going to be delayed because of the COVID and the workload by the company we're contracting with. So we're going to have electric buses on several of our routes. I know Meridian is going to get 2 buses for their new route that they're implementing, Valley Ride route. But we're really excited about that. So we're working on the infrastructure right now, and it's really going to be exciting because there's 0 emissions. And I rode in one, and man, they are sweet. They're sweet rides.
So we paused out there for a second while you were talking. So did I just hear electric buses are coming?
We have ordered 8 electric buses, and We think Boise's going to get 6 of those right now, and we are committed to going towards electric. We will be making additional purchases in the future, but those buses should be here. We thought in January because we're right in the queue with the company that we've contracted with, but it may be postponed, maybe I think to the spring now because of COVID-19 and a lot of delays caused by that. But we are really excited. We're working on getting the infrastructure in place, the transformers and the chargers and everything else. But it's going to be really exciting. I've rode on one and they're smooth. They're really, really nice rides.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, Mark, it's been so good to check in with you today. Thanks for taking the time with me. Thanks for your membership with the chamber. And thanks for helping get people moved around this area. You guys put down the stereotypes, take a bus ride, check out the schedule. Thanks again, Mark.
All right. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our agency. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
soon.
All righty.